I'm Jake.
And I'm Christine.
Last year we watched the trailers for Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, the originals, by George A. Romero. So I just thought it would be fitting, and probably because I'm going to review this movie later this week, that we watch the trailer for 1985's Day of the Dead.
Step further. Now, George A. Romero takes us out of the night, beyond the dawn, and into the darkest day of horror the world has ever known. Day of the Dead. George A. Romero's Day of the Dead. The most eagerly awaited day in horror film history.
That's all I get?
That was the trailer that I first watched when it came to Day of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a trailer that has more footage, but this was the first one I ever saw, and it's the one I kind of connect to more.
Yeah.
And it's interesting. Doesn't show a ton, but makes you curious what they're going to do next.
Yes.
Because Dawn of the Dead is arguably, the 1978 version, is arguably the greatest zombie film ever made. So you think, how do you follow it up? And when that narrator says the most eagerly awaited horror film, they weren't kidding. Like, there was a 10-year gap between Night and Dawn.
Yeah.
And between Dawn and Day, there was like 7. So that's how kind of Romero rolled. He made one of these movies every decade.
Yeah.
And he tried to make each one a fun experience with some good social commentary, and kept making the gore effects better and better.
Yeah.
And all of his movies have this theme going on, which is, are the zombies the true monsters, or are the people?
Yeah.
Because we see like the portrayal of anarchy and paranoia with the end of the world going on around everybody, and kind of showing how it would affect everybody and make them kind of lose their common sense. And once again, this is a trailer that freaked me out a little the first time I saw it, but yeah,
Sorry.
I just didn't see that.
Freaked you out?
It was a cool shot.
Yeah. I kind of want to go back and like watch how they did it. If they just like split the film. Yeah, I guess you just split it. Or is there like little spots? Oh, there's little spots.
George A. Romero's
Okay. That's cool.
Still a fun effect.
Yeah.
And if that trailer is not enough to make you want to see it, I'll tell you something that's in the film that is definitely very interesting.
Okay.
This movie features, it's the only George A. Romero zombie film to do so, it has a zombie that can talk. There's a group of scientists that study the zombies in this film, and one of them actually pretty much takes a zombie on as kind of a big pet. Yeah. And he teaches it like how to not try to jump at people, how to kind of understand what everybody's saying, and there's a scene where it gives it a telephone, not connected, but he says, say hello, and he actually does it. And the reaction to the person, the military people observing, is priceless.
That sounds really interesting.
I love Dawn the best because it is the greatest, but Day of the Dead is another fucking zombie masterpiece. I definitely say check it out. And George A. Romero was given the choice of having a $7 million budget if he could make this film with an R rating. But Romero's never been a fan of censorship, so he cut a deal where he would get $3.5 million with free reign to do whatever he wanted.
So
And
what's the rating?
It had no rating when it came out, which probably didn't. This is probably what led to it not becoming a huge success.
Yeah.
But still, he got to do exactly what he wanted, which I think makes
Almost
it
makes
even,
you want to watch it even more.
Yeah, it makes me more intrigued
Yeah.
to see. Well, I haven't seen it,
Were
but
the other ones rated?
Night of the Living Dead came out before the.
rating system.
Yeah, and Dawn of the Dead. For that film, they also said, "Fuck the ratings. We'll just release it with no one."
Got it.
So that's about it. Think you'll ever
Check out
check it
the
out?
unrated version of Dawn of the Dead. Is there Evening of the Dead?
There were a few more sequels that came out like 20 years later. Land of the Dead, Diary of the Dead, and Survival of the Dead.
No Evening? Well, I guess Dawn is evening. Dusk.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Sorry.
We'll see you next week.